Cent blamed the second season ratings dip on gay stuff.
First of all, you know, the pot calling the kettle black is all I'm saying.
Ooh, the pot calling the kettle black. Huh.
Whoa. That was some tea. That was shade. That was major shade.
Pot calling the kettle black. So, I mean, you're not insinuating that
he's gay?
50 Cent is...
Oh, my Lord, please.
50 Cent never keeps his mouth shut when it comes to drama, especially when it involves big names like Kanye West and Diddy. And recently, 50 found himself in yet another storm after exposing what he claims is one of the most shocking secrets in the industry, a rumored affair between Kanye West and Diddy. According to 50, the rumors weren't just gossip whispered in studio hallways. He came out bold, saying that there was some very real, very dirty evidence linking the two. But before the internet could even catch its breath, Vivica A jumped in. Throwing gasoline on an already burning fire, she didn't just clap back at 50 for speaking on things that had nothing to do with him. But she took things even further by dragging his name through the mud and allegedly leaking a video. That could change everything we thought we knew about him. It all started when 50 Cent made a cryptic post that most people didn't expect to go viral. He shared a photo of Kanye and Diddy looking a little too cozy at one of those exclusive Hollywood parties, the type where nobody's supposed to take pictures. But 50 isn't just anybody. He's the kind of person who thrives on chaos. And he thrives even more when he's the one who caused it. In his caption, he dropped a bomb, implying that Diddy and Kanye had more than just a working relationship. He used words like lover and secret nights, and that alone was enough to send the internet into overdrive. The comment sections lit up instantly. People started digging up old photos, old videos, and even interviews where Kanye spoke highly of Diddy, perhaps a little too highly. But it wasn't just fans who reacted. Celebrities started chiming in too. Some were laughing it off like typical 50 Cent trolling, but others were stunned. Because if what 50 was saying was true, it wasn't just about Kanye and Diddy. It was about exposing a part of Hollywood that many believe exists, but no one dares to speak on publicly. Vivica A, who has a long and complicated history with 50 Cent, wasn't having any of it. She came out swinging, not just defending Kanye or Diddy, but attacking 50 Cent on a deeply personal level. In a now viral interview, she said that 50 Cent has no room to talk about anyone's sexuality when he hasn't come clean about his own. She hinted that 50's obsession with other men's private lives is a clear sign of projection. But she didn't stop there. Vivica claimed that she had received a private tape, one that allegedly showed 50 Cent in an intimate setting with another man. This was more than just celebrity beef, it was war. And in Hollywood, wars like this don't stay clean for long. Vivica claimed that the tape came from someone inside 50's inner circle, a bitter ex-associate who had grown tired of 50's bullying and reckless mouth. She said the tape wasn't doctored, wasn't fake, and that she'd seen enough to know that 50 Cent wasn't being honest about who he really is. Vivica said she'd been holding onto this for years, out of respect for their past relationship. But now that he crossed the line by dragging others into public shame, she felt it was time to even the score. The internet exploded once again. People were divided. Some were calling Vivica bitter and jealous, saying she was just mad that 50 dumped her years ago. Others were saying she had every right to expose a man who constantly tears down others. While hiding his own truth, forums, blogs, and podcasts couldn't stop talking about it. Suddenly, 50 Cent wasn't just a troll, he was a target. And then, the whispers started turning into full-on leaks. A grainy video started making rounds in closed circles. Some claimed to have seen it, some described it in detail, but the identity of the man in the tape remained a mystery. The quality wasn't great, and many said it couldn't definitively be 50 Cent, but the story had already taken off. For many, the truth didn't matter as much as the narrative, and the narrative was juicy. Vivica didn't back down. In fact, she doubled down. She went on live interviews, radio shows, and even hosted her own Instagram lives where she discussed her history with 50. She talked about how he constantly tried to humiliate her after their breakup, how he would use memes and posts to mock her, and how he acted like he was untouchable. But Vivica said nobody is untouchable, especially someone with secrets as dark as 50's. Meanwhile, 50 tried to spin the narrative as usual. He laughed it off on his social media, posting memes and sarcastic captions like, "Guess I'm gay." Now, thanks, Vivica, but those close to him said that behind the scenes, he was furious. Not because of the rumor itself. 50's been surrounded by controversy for decades, but because the tape might be real, sources say. He was calling around, trying to figure out who could have leaked it, who could have filmed it, and how Vivica got her hands on it. And while all of this was going down, nobody noticed that Kanye and Diddy had gone completely silent. Both of them, usually loud and public-facing, went ghost, no tweets, no posts, no statements. Just silence, and that silence was loud, because if the story wasn't true, most people believed they would have denied it immediately. But instead, the silence made people believe there was more to it. Industry insiders began to whisper that this wasn't just gossip. This was about a real, powerful underground system in Hollywood, a system where favors, sex, secrets, and silence were traded like currency, where certain relationships were hidden in plain sight. And 50, in his typical chaotic style, accidentally cracked the door open. Vivica's allegations about 50 Cent's sexuality weren't completely new, though, years ago. During another public spat, she made similar claims, but back then, nobody took it seriously. Most people thought it was just another bitter ex venting. But this time felt different. This time there were receipts, or at least the rumor of receipts. And in today's internet age, that's all it takes. People started digging into 50's past. Old interviews, old photos, strange public appearances. Even his connections to certain people in the industry. They pointed out how often he spoke about other men's private lives, how often he accused others of being on the down low, and suddenly, a pattern started forming. Vivica played it smart. She never said she'd release the tape. In fact, she said she had no intention of doing that unless 50 pushed her too far. But she said that the industry knows the truth, that the image 50 tries so hard to maintain, the tough guy, the ladies' man, the alpha male, is just that, an image. She said the real 50 is hiding, and that he's scared that the world will see him for who he truly is. 50 Cent tried to clap back with his usual arrogance. He posted pictures of himself with models, clips of his shows, and even old interviews where women praised him. But people weren't buying it, because when Vivica speaks, people listen. She's not some fly-by-night influencer. She's a respected actress who's been in the game for decades. She knows things. She's seen things, and when she talks, people take notice. As the days went on, more rumors started to swirl. Some claimed that Diddy and Kanye's affair wasn't even a secret. Within the inner circles of Hollywood, they said people knew about it for years, and 50 just brought it into the public. Others said Kanye's breakdowns and strange public rants were connected to the secret, that he was under pressure to keep things quiet, to protect powerful people. And Diddy, his name is always floated around when it comes to industry secrets and rumored affairs. Many have whispered that Diddy's parties aren't just about music and business, they're about control, power, and secrets. And if Kanye was part of that world, it explains a lot of the strange behavior we've seen from him over the years. The most ironic part of all this is that while 50 Cent tried to expose others, he may have exposed himself instead. Vivica knew exactly where to hit him, and she hit him hard. And whether the tape is real or not, the damage was already done. Because in the court of public opinion, perception is everything. More people started siding with Vivica, calling 50 a hypocrite, saying he deserved to be exposed for all the years he mocked others. Meanwhile, Kanye and Diddy still haven't spoken a word, and maybe they never will. But the silence is telling, and 50's silence, the part he hides behind the memes and sarcasm, might be even louder. In the end, this wasn't just about who slept with who, it was about power, secrets, revenge, and image. Vivica made it clear that she wasn't afraid of 50, and for once, he looked like he didn't know what to do. Because the one thing 50 can't fight with memes and Instagram posts is a woman who knows all his secrets and who's finally ready to tell them. As the story continues to unfold, the entertainment world is watching closely. Because if this is just the beginning, there's no telling how deep the rabbit hole really goes. And in an industry built on illusions, the truth is the most dangerous thing of all. And while the dust hasn't fully settled, it's becoming clearer that this saga is far from over. More people from 50 Cent's past are now being asked to speak. Old associates, industry folks who were once quiet, are now being pulled into the conversation, either by fans or by curiosity. Everyone wants to know if what Vivica said has any weight. Did she really see what she claimed? And more importantly, was 50's carefully guarded image just a mask for something he's been hiding all along? Insiders close to Vivica are now saying that she's not bluffing. According to them, the only reason she hasn't released the tape is because she's being advised by her legal team. To avoid any lawsuits, they're saying that she has more than just the tape. She has messages, screenshots, and possibly even testimony from people who were around 50 during those alleged private moments. That alone is enough to shake anyone, even a man like 50 Cent, who usually thrives off controversy. What's really wild is that 50's own past comments are coming back to haunt him. There are interviews where he joked about being with men, sometimes in a sarcastic way. But people are looking at those clips differently now, especially because he always had a tendency to mock gay men or imply that others were secretly gay. Like he did with Diddy numerous times, the hypocrisy is what's driving the conversation forward. You can't publicly clown people for something you might be doing in private, and Vivica's timing couldn't have been better. Even some people within the LGBTQ+ community are now speaking up, saying that if the allegations are true, 50 should be honest about it instead of mocking others. They say it's better for him to admit who he is rather than keep living in fear and throwing others under the bus. Some people even believe Vivica's leak, if done right, could spark a bigger conversation about how homophobia still runs deep in hip-hop, even among those who are secretly part of the community. Meanwhile, Kanye's involvement in all this has taken a strange turn. Not long after the rumors exploded online, Kanye was seen leaving a private event with a noticeably somber look. And for someone who's known for wild rants and chaotic interviews, his silence has been deafening. People around him say he's dealing with a lot emotionally, and the resurfacing of the story is taking a toll, especially because Kanye has always been sensitive to how the public views him. The rumor that he may have had a private relationship with Diddy, something that 50 made public, only adds more chaos to an already unstable situation. As for Diddy, his name has been associated with industry secrets for decades, whether it's the infamous parties, his private lifestyle, or the many young male artists who have come and gone under his label. The whispers have always been there, but 50 Cent took those whispers and turned them into a front-page headline. And that's why the story is different. It's not just the usual gossip anymore. It's now being discussed on news platforms, blogs, and talk shows. It's now being investigated, not just gossiped about. There's a saying in Hollywood, nothing stays buried forever, and with Vivica coming out the way she did, that old truth is more relevant than ever. She didn't just want to get revenge, she wanted people to see what's really going on behind the smoke and mirrors. And even if she never releases that tape, the threat of it existing is enough to keep the pressure on 50 Cent. And everyone else involved. Fans are now demanding answers. They want to know if Vivica is telling the truth. They want to know if 50 is going to respond with something real instead of jokes. And more importantly, they want to know how deep this entire scandal really goes. Because if Kanye and Diddy are just the beginning, who else might be hiding similar secrets? Who else is living a double life in plain sight? People are also wondering about Vivica's motivation. Is it really just revenge? Or is she trying to spark a bigger conversation? Some say she's doing this for the clout. Others say she's doing it because she's tired of watching men like 50 Cent tear others down for their own gain. Whatever. The reason is, Vivica has the world's attention now, and she doesn't seem like she's going to back down anytime soon. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, some of 50 Cent's former crew members have gone quiet. People who once used to post with him, party with him, and defend him online have disappeared from the picture. That's raising more questions. Are they trying to avoid being caught in the fallout? Do they know more than they're letting on? Some even believe that one of them could be the original source of the tape Vivica's talking about. It's also becoming clear that 50 Cent is starting to lose control of the narrative, usually. When he trolls someone, he controls the conversation. He posts, fans laugh, and the other person fades into silence. But this time, the tables have turned. He's the one being talked about. He's the one being questioned. And Vivica is the one getting support from people who usually stay silent when these kinds of stories pop off. What's interesting is that even though 50's fans are loyal, many of them are now feeling uneasy. Some are saying things like, I don't care what he does in his private life, but he shouldn't be dragging others for doing the same. Others are simply saying if it's true, he should just own it. The support is still there, but the blind loyalty is cracking, and that's something 50 probably didn't expect. The ripple effects of this situation are also being felt in the industry. Rappers, producers, managers, they're all watching closely because the days of secrets staying hidden are over. If a respected actress like Vivica can speak out, then others might follow. And if there really is a culture of silence around these private relationships, it might start to collapse under the weight of public pressure. There's even talk that some journalists and bloggers are already working behind the scenes to get their hands on the tape Vivica hinted at. Some media outlets are offering money for exclusive rights, and if it ever gets leaked, it would be one of the biggest scandals in hip-hop history, not just because of what it shows, but because of what it represents. A complete breakdown of the tough guy image 50 Cent has built for himself. And yet, through all of this, Vivica seems calm, confident even. She knows what she's doing. She knows she holds the cards. And most importantly, she knows that 50 is scared. Maybe not scared of being exposed, but scared of losing the control he's always had, scared of being vulnerable, scared of people seeing him as something other than the powerful, untouchable. Man he pretends to be, this scandal isn't just about one tape or one rumor. It's about power, truth, and revenge. Vivica is showing the world that when a woman has receipts and patience, she can take down even the loudest man in the room. And as the days go on, more people are starting to see 50 Cent, not as a bully who always wins, but as a man who finally messed with the wrong woman.